without further ado, let's jump right in, guys. We're going to talk about some really cool things that are going on here in our beloved city of Phoenix, Arizona. So let's do just that. I'm going to share my screen as I always do, guys. And we're going to talk about this first, okay? We're going to talk about the commentary on the housing market. Actually, I want to show you this blue graph first, all right? This is the supply. This is the active listing counts right now for the Phoenix entire greater metro area, and all the suburbs. And you can see right now, you can see the hump, right? You don't have to be a very astute individual to realize that we don't have a whole lot of inventory. Now, we have 12,000 properties for sale, which is a heck of a lot more than what we did have when the market was bananas, right? Look at this. In March of 2022, we had 4,000. So let's be honest, we have a lot more than what we did. That's a good thing. But demand is also a lot less than what it was because everybody was like the gold rush, right? Everybody was jumping in and trying to buy a property because when one person does it, then two more people do it, and then four more people do it, and this tsunami effect occurs. And then of course, eventually the music stops and some people are left without a chair. So as you can see, since then, the market has increased dramatically with supply because the market slowed down, right? The Fed raised rates. They wanted to stop the economy being so hot and on fire. So they did that, and they're getting their intended result to an extent, right? So then you can see all the amount of inventory that we peaked here in October. Coincidentally, that was when interest rates were the highest as well. So there's that direct correlation, right? And then we came down here, and now we're back down to 12,000, 185 properties for sale in the Phoenix area. So how can you sit there and say, Kelly, there definitely is supply? What are you talking about? You're exactly right. There is. But supply right now is very low compared to the demand also curtailing. So this is interesting. We're going to jump into this and talk about it. So this is the net result. I'm going to show you right now the net result of this supply issue, if you will. Here we go. Here's a commentary from the Cromford report. Today is the 13th, and April 10th, they came out with this. Guys, look at that V. Now, if that's not almost a perfect V for a housing market statistic, I'm not sure what is. This is phenomenal. This is phenomenal in terms of just being a visual representation of what the housing market in Phoenix has done. This is not to say it's what's going on in Houston or Indianapolis or Boston or anywhere else, but in Phoenix, this is what's happening, guys, in a 6-month period. Look what happens. So if you read the commentary, you can see right here, the latest average, okay? The latest average is over 279, meaning in terms of price per square foot, meaning the highest pricing during the last 6 months was recorded today on the 10th. Since September, right? In the last 6 months. I would like to refer to our observation on September 25th, where we claim that we were not in a crash and that our advice was to keep calm and carry on. We have plenty of people tell us they disagreed and it was a great time to panic. Oh, we're panicking, right? Wait for the crash and then jump in and buy. The average price per square foot is now back to where it was in late September. So we believe our advice was sound and our observation accurate, guys. And most likely it's going to be on the Cromford report, which is a good reason to tune into this YouTube channel. Why? Because they deal with facts, not fiction. There's no drama. It's just data. And if you interpret just the data without a hidden agenda, because guys, the Cromford report, they get paid regardless, right? People like me are paying them regardless. So whether they say the market's going up or down or bad or good, they're still being paid. So there's not a hidden agenda for maybe a fee or something to get more subscribers or whatever, right? There's none of that with the Cromford report. So we're bringing you that data, and the data typically is correct because not only are they very smart individuals, but they know how to tell the future to an extent based on previous data and where the data lies today. So this is interesting. If you keep reading this, which maybe some of you have already peaked, although the dip between November and January was a bit scary, because it was, the recovery in price has been equally strong since then. Volume is well below normal, meaning transaction count is low, with both sellers and buyers lacking enthusiasm, but prices are buoyant and in even better shape than we expected. That's interesting, right? That's interesting. No, I'm going to read this. This is due to the seasonal effect on the luxury home market. Unless we get an unexpected source of new supply, which no one knows where that's going to come from anytime soon, the fourth quarter should show a rebound from the dip that we might see in the third quarter based upon seasonality, meaning that the annual appreciation will have turned positive. The annual appreciation would have turned positive by November of 2023. But I thought the housing market's going to crash. All the clickbait. Guys, in Phoenix, not looking like that whatsoever. Volume will take time to recover while skepticism remains dominant. The next stages of hope, followed by relief, should not be far away since the market number we are seeing is improving. All right, now look at this. Here's the monthly supply. This is similar to this graph I just showed you right here, right? This is supply. You can see where it's going. There's 2023. There's a nosedive. And it's not crashing clearly, but it's low. It's low. And look at compared to the previous years of 2021. And of course, 22 was very even lower right here, like we just talked about, 4,000 or so. And then it came flying up because the market slowed down. People were not used to and being freaked out by higher interest rates. So right now, this is a 2.0. We're below a 2 months of supply for the Phoenix area. 2 months of supply for the Phoenix area. Guys, what does that mean to you? Comment below. Let us know. Let us know what that means to you. Is this positive news? Is this good news? If you are looking to buy, would you jump in? Would you still wait for some reason? I'd love to know why. And so would the Cromford Report, because look what they say next. This is interesting. We have below a 2 months of supply, okay, which is less than 3.8 months we had in last November. If you have clients, here we go, who think prices are going to fall further, ask them to explain where the new supply is going to come from that would cause that to happen. Prices are unlikely to fall unless supply rises to more than 3 months. Foreclosures remain very scarce, and single-family home builders have dropped their production plans sharply, driven by an abundance of caution. With prices for new homes holding up, they will probably regret that caution over the next several months. So again, guys, it just falls right in line with that old saying that's been around forever. It says you should not wait to buy real estate. You just buy real estate somewhere in the cycle and wait. Perhaps owners of short-term rentals will tire of that business. You know, the VRBOs, Airbnbs that didn't rent out as well as they probably thought it would based upon 20, 21, and 22. Now the occupancy rates are well down from a year ago. They're disappointed with the receipts from the Super Bowl. A lot of people were, guys. Remember, you saw that article. We only had 52% occupancy rate during the week of the Super Bowl, which is down from over 88% for the last 2 years for the last two host cities. That's interesting. We have an excess of short-term rental supply to an extent, meaning that owners will have to compete with each other on price for short-term tenants. We are headed into a low season for the for holiday rentals for Phoenix being the summertime where it gets hot and we have less people visiting. So we may see some of those get sold off, right? If I own a short-term rental property with disappointing occupancy rates, which she said she doesn't, this is Tina Tambor of the Cromford Report talking, I would wait for higher prices before considering selling. So conversion to a long-term rental would be my first step. Now, let's jump into here. I love doing this, guys. Guys, I got a comment, okay? I got a comment from somebody on one of the videos I did, and I'm going to talk to you directly here in this one because this is interesting. I got a comment, and the person made a comment to the extent of saying something like this. I don't know what you're talking about when it comes to saying there's no supply and all that stuff, because I went out to Santan Heights, which is a subdivision out in the East Valley, the far Southeast Valley, on the outskirts of the valley, Santan Valley area, Queen Creek area. And there's a lot of supply. There's homes that the builders want to sell. There's homes for sale that people want to sell that are resale homes. So what are you talking about? You're just trying to make a quick buck. And my response to that is not at all. If you listen to what I say, I have to make general statements, but also too, I will always break down specific cities, right? And this is what the Cromford Report does, because not every city is created equal when it comes to supply and demand, and certainly price points. So let's share my schedule, my screen here, and jump right back in and show you this. This is interesting, right? I'm going to go back to here. Okay, here's the different cities, the suburbs, and there's the CMI, the Cromford Market Index. Remember, 90 to 110 is balanced. Below 90 is a buyer's market. Above 110 is a seller's market. Okay, so let's look at Queen Creek, which is the closest thing to Santan Valley, right next door to each other. Santan Valley is a little further out in terms of the from the main metroplex. We look at this and look at Queen Creek is at 86.1. It is a buyer's market. So there is going to be inventory in certain areas, a lot more inventory. Okay, let me back up. First of all, guys, there's inventory everywhere. Let's be clear about that. In no way am I saying there's no homes for sale, because there clearly are. We had just under 2 months of inventory. Some places have more inventory than others. And right here in Queen Creek, we are in a buyer's market. We're below 90. Even though it's increasing, we're below 90. But look at Maricopa, 78. Look at Buckeye, 67. I'll go one step further. Let's go really out. Look at Casa Grande here. Same concept, same graph in a different form, in the form of a gauge. Look at this. The market index in Casa Grande is 73. Still not as bad as Buckeye, right? Buckeye was 67. So there are deals to be had if you're looking to buy. If you think that's a good deal, could they drop further? I mean, they could. I mean, anything could. But if you look at this graph right here again, everything has been on the rise. Why? Because there's not that much supply. There is not that much demand either, but supply is lower. Look at Buckeye. You have supply in the red at 145. The red is not good. Low supply. Look at demand. It's balanced. It's not super high. It's not high at all, actually. It's balanced. But the supply is lower, and therefore keeping the prices, um, somewhat, without falling off the roof. At the same time, because supply is, so much higher, it is still a buyer's market. So if you want to buy to invest, that'd be the place I would speculate right now if I'm going to invest. But you have to look at rental rates. There's a lot more that goes with that, right? What are the rental rates? Have they gone down in that specific area too? And if you want, call me, 480-660-5974. And we can talk about rental rates and getting you specific data on specific areas, specific subdivisions, and even zip codes if you are looking to do something like that. Or maybe looking to buy just for yourself. Guys, if you're looking to buy for yourself, you don't want to treat it as much as an investment, right? You want to be able to have peace and comfort to know that the house you live in for your family and yourself is going to just be that. And you have to have some place to live. So why not obviously buy a place that you can have principal buy down over time? And hopefully you will choose to sell when the market is on an upswing. You will choose to sell. And if you have to sell when it's on a downswing, hopefully you don't have to actually truly sell. Maybe you have to sell from a standpoint of being relocated for a job, but could you hold on to it as a rental maybe until the market gets on upswing and then sell when it's higher? Those are all things to consider. All right. So guys, thanks for hanging with me. That's a good bit of the market update right now. Again, if you don't mind, subscribe, hit the ring notification bell, and we are trying to do this every single Thursday for you, as well as putting out other videos throughout the week for you also on a consistent basis. Appreciate you guys. Thank you so much. Thanks, guys.